Hey everyone, it's Lexie. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all the books that I plan on reading in the month of May. So April was a crazy month, so I didn't end up reading as many books as I wanted to, but that's okay. So I have 6 books here. So I graduated at the end of April, so I have a bit of time before I start my residency on June 4th. So today, this month, May is going to be TBR takedown month. So now that I'm home and I've kind of organized my shelves and all that stuff, I can actually see all the books that are on my TBR, and they're not as many as I thought there was, or maybe is about 15 or so, but I want to get those done so then I can start kind of continuing on with series that I want to read and getting more books. Once I finish these ones, then I can start enjoying reading the other books. So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 books on this TBR. So this is a bit ambitious, but I have nothing else to do for a month. So yeah, before I get started though, I am doing a Q&A, so if you have any questions for me, I'll be filming it this month, kind of later this month. If you have any questions about my residency, my career, kind of what I did for my undergrad and graduate school, tearing my ACL again during all this, let me know down below, and I'll kind of give it a thumbs up, and then I'll be filming this video later this month. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I have here is the Tales and Teacups book club pick for the months of May and June, and it is True Colors by Kristin. This is one that's been on my shelf for a while, and it's the only Kristin book that I own that I haven't read yet. So I thought this one would be kind of a good spring summery read just by looking at the cover, but essentially it follows 3 sisters who kind of, after their mother's death when they were still young, they've always bonded together against the distant chill of their father. Each sister is very kind of unique and complex and in every way. So so it says, in a matter of minutes their families will be torn apart. The Grey sisters will be pitted against one another in ways that none could have imagined. Loyalties will be tested and secrets revealed, and a terrible, shocking crime will shatter both their family and the beloved town. So I think this one was really interesting. I think Kristin in particular as of recently has kind of been gaining a lot of traction here on BookTube, which I'm very happy about just with the success of The Nightingale. So I'm hoping a few of you will be interested in reading this. I'll have everything linked down below in terms of the book club and then kind of the announcement video if you want to learn more about it. But yeah, I'm really excited. Kristin does a really good job at kind of focusing on kind of different types of female relationships, whether they're being complex and just kind of complexities of them between mothers and daughters, sisters, friends. So I'm really excited to pick this one up, and I think it will be, I have a feeling all her books are a tearjerker, so I'm expecting that going into this one. Next, this is a new release that comes out on May 1st, which I am really excited about, and it's A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. And I don't know, this is a kind of this is essentially 3.5 off of the spin-off series, so this is kind of setting it up. I don't even know anything, I'm just really confused about it, but I'm looking here on my computer. But yeah, essentially this is kind of the prequel to the spin-off series, or kind of the novella to the spin-off series. So I'm really excited about this. I love the Court, Thorns and Roses series a lot more than the Throne of Glass series, so I'm all for this world. There's some things that I am a little picky about in terms of how everything's kind of played out in here, and there's some nitpicky things, but overall this is just a fun series. But it reminds me of last May when I was reading the 3rd book, so I was really excited about that, and this cover is just beautiful, so I'm really excited just to kind of read this and kind of get lost in this world. I feel like I haven't read a fantasy in a while, so this will kind of be a nice little fun thing to do. Finally, these last 4 books are ones that I'm hoping to finish this month. They've been on my TBR for a while. You probably you're sick of me of reading talking about these, but these are the ones that I'm going to be hopefully getting to this month because I have nothing else to do for a month. But I'll kind of start out with them in order. So the first one is Gravity by Tess Gerritsen, and Tess Gerritsen is one of my favorite authors. She wrote the Result Isles series, and so I only have 3 more of her books that I own that I haven't read yet. So That's why I want to get to this one. But it says, Dr. Emma Watson has been training for the adventure of a lifetime to study living beings in space. But her mission aboard the International Space Station turns into a nightmare beyond imagining when a culture of single-celled organisms begin to regenerate out of control and affects the space crew with agonizing and deadly results. Emma struggles to contain the virus outbreak while back on Earth her estranged husband, Jack McCollum, works frankly with NASA to bring her home. But there will be no rescue. The contagion now threatens Earth's population, and the astronauts are stranded in orbit, quarantined aboard the station, where they're dying one by one. So I have, like, this kind of brings to, like, my two worst fears, kind of space travel, which gives me a lot of anxiety, and kind of, like, viruses and, like, all that stuff, like, freaks me out. So I think this one is going to be a really good thriller. And then this is another one by Tess Gerritsen. This is life support. So it says, the quiet overnight shift at Springer Hospital ER suits Dr. Toby Harper just fine until she admits a man in critical condition with a possible viral infection of the brain. The delirious man barely responds to treatment and then disappears without a trace. Before Toby can find him, a second case occurs, revealing a terrifying fact. The virus can only be spread through direct tissue exchange. Following the trial of death that winds from a pregnant 16-year-old prostitute to her own way home, Toby discovers the unthinkable. The epidemic didn't just happen, someone let it loose. Again, this one I feel like is going to be, like, keep me on the edge of my toes, and anything with, like, kind of diseases and, like, all that stuff freaks me out, as I said. So yeah, will hopefully pick this one up this month. And then these last two again are ones that I've talked about. I'm kind of going through this quickly because you guys probably are sick of me talking about it. But the first one is Those Who Save Us by Jenna Blum. So it says here, for 50 years, Anna Schulerman has refused to talk about her life in Germany during World War II. Her daughter Trudy was only 3 when she and her mother were liberated by an American soldier and went to live with him in Minnesota. Trudy's sole evidence of the past is an old photograph, a family portrait showing Anna, Trudy, and a Nazi officer. Trudy, now a professor of German history, begins investigating the past and finally unearths the heartbreaking truth of her mother's life. So I think this one will be really interesting, and I am a big sucker for World War II, and I think this one will be really interesting as well. Again, I don't want to know too much going into this. I just want to read it as it is. And I feel like I haven't read a lot of World War II this year, so I'm excited about that. And finally, this is one that I've been talking about for months now, and it is The Kitchen House by Kathleen Grissom. And again, this is another historical fiction one, but it's a little different. It's kind of takes place at kind of the turn of the 19th century. So it says here, at the turn of the 19th century on a tobacco plantation in Virginia, young white Lavinia, who was orphaned on her passage from Ireland, arrives on the steps of the kitchen house and is placed under the care of Belle, the master's illegitimate black daughter. Lavinia learns to cook, clean, serve food, and cherish the quiet strength and love of her new family. In time, Lavinia is accepted into the world of the big house, caring for the master's opium-addicted wife and befriending his dangerous yet productive son. She attempts to straddle the worlds of the kitchen and big house, but her skin color will forever set her apart from Belle and the other slaves. So yeah, I think this one will be really interesting. I haven't really read anything from this time frame, so I think this one will be really unique, and I don't know, I think this one is going to be interesting, and just kind of tackling kind of the issues of racism I think will be interesting as well, and just kind of the complexities of that and how it still has been spanning centuries of just kind of human culture, and I think that's really interesting. So I think this one will be a very good discussion topic. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions for my Q&A, or if you've read any of these books, like what your thoughts and opinions are. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.